Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks take on Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. With that, let's head inside the Ford Field in Detroit. We're standing by are the two men who will bring you this one, Brandon Gotton and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Ford Field tunnels, and the noise level in this place just about off the charts. They are set for football as the Lions get ready to do battle with the Seattle Seahawks. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gotton. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Tyler Lockett now with a return. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be brought out by their Pro Bowl QB in his 7th year now in the Emerald City. It's Russell Wilson.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it, in the middle of the schedule. Now a play fake here on first down. Eluding the pressure right. Finds an opening past the 40. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first.
Let's go get it right here. Come on. Gotta go. 14.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Stepping up. He's going to keep it. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
You know, I don't think this is the last time we'll see that in this game. This guy has mobility, and they want to use his legs in the game plan. So there will be designed runs as well as his scrambles.
Now Wilson on first down. And that's off the mark, incomplete. And here's the starting offensive unit for Seattle.
And that means my eyes go to Doug Baldwin out on the perimeter. He plays the game so hard and with such passion, but also plays it skillfully. Only one drop last season on his way to another Pro Bowl season.
Second and 10. It's Wilson again. Sliding out of the pocket. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
I think this one comes under the heading of sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules because you and I both know coaches go crazy seeing their quarterbacks roll out, in this case to the right side, and try and throw back into the middle of the field. He got away with one there.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on fourth. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Pete Carroll rolled the dice, but it didn't work out. And this crowd loves it as their guys hold on the opening drive. Well, trying to be bold on the opening drive of the game, but that effort, it proves futile.
How many times have we talked with coaches where they've talked about taking the emotion out of their decision-making? I think that opening drive, if he didn't have it in his head to go for it before, I think that keyed into it. They were doing so well, and he decided to really establish something there. They didn't get it. Now they've got to make sure that they don't lose their focus.
On second down, here's Stafford. He's going to let this one go deep. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. And he locates Luke Wilson. And he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. And not the clean start that we had envisioned. You thought this would be a pretty crisp game, but a turnover for a turnover.
Yeah, so much for scripting. Because if teams are doing that, things aren't going according to plan. Maybe it's a case of nerves. Maybe it's a case of, too much energy right now. Let's see if both teams can get settled in and start to play good ball.
And out now come the Seahawks. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. Now Wilson on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Now Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
But that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's third and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him. Sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did. Yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only they're controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. Get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. Just what Seattle was hoping for. The coverage holds, and now fourth down. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on third down to bring up fourth. And before we can get to the field goal try, time will run out on this first quarter of play. 3-0 is our score. We're back to the Motor City after this. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. He'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. His feet, what he's been able to do individually running the ball, it's kind of kept him in this game.
No doubt about it, because if he's not making the plays that we've seen, they are really getting blown out in this one. I don't think they have any chance at all. He's keeping them in striking distance, hoping to get some help from the defensive side of the ball so that maybe some of these plays can turn into plays that maybe put them in the lead.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. To throw is Wilson. He's going to go. He's got a man complete. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. A big play there. 76 yards. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Sebastian Janikowski on for the PAT. Janikowski good with the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. Out to kick is Janikowski. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
They start on the ground here with Blunt. Some fancy footwork, but not much room to operate. Just up past the 25 and no further. Tackle made there by Frank Clark.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, here's Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Forced out to his left. Now he's going to throw deep back over the middle. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Second and 10 now, Wilson. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Jarrett Davis leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Third and long, it's Wilson. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. It's the 2014 NFL interception leader, Glover Quinn. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
After the interception, here's Stafford. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
Forget height and catch radius. When you run the fade really well, run down the defender, kind of take him a little bit towards the middle of the field, and then fade to the sideline and give your quarterback some space, it can be executed that well, just as we saw.
And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Jaron Reed coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, it took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, it still definitely hurts.
He'll get it up the middle, and he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. It's a pickup of 3, but still a little work to do on 3rd and goal. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, arguably, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And he'll take this across the 25 Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. On second down, Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Rolling to his right. And incomplete here on third down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. On the return, it's Tate. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Lions will take over. On 1st and 10, Stafford looking downfield for Jones. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. He was trying to get it to T.J. Jones that time. And that'll bring up second down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this third down play takes place. As they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. From the gun on third down, Stafford. It's caught. Jones. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Stafford now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. He's going to let one fly for Tate. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Hi again, everybody. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the league here in the unofficial midway point, Week 8 of the NFL season. We'll kick things off in the AFC West as we check on Kansas City hosting Denver. And it's the Chiefs who have the lead in the second quarter. Kareem Hunt with a touchdown run. From there, we'll head east all the way to the Steel City to check on the Steelers at home in Pittsburgh. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Browns in that one. Tyrod Taylor has thrown a touchdown pass there. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And they have the lead over the visiting Washington Redskins. Odell Beckham, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. In our game has been Russell Wilson, who was dynamic, as usual, in that first half. His guys lead, though, by only a point. It's been a tight one. As for the start of the third quarter, we'll send it back to Brandon Godden.
Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors. But overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Barkevius Mingo in that time on the tackle. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it's the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Returnable for Lockett. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Now Wilson being chased out left. And some room to maneuver. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
First carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And a grab made by Doug Baldwin. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
They go play action here on first down. Dancing to his left. And now he'll tuck it and run. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
They will run it. It's McKissick. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily, put it on him.
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Sylvester Williams able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of a yard.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he fires one, but incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
And Janikowski bangs it through, and they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. On first down, Stafford here. And they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Stafford on first down. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 46, and he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. Charles, when plays like that work, it's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're very deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and heard all the other guys chirping about, you know,
and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Sean Robinson able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of a yard.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off.
And the pressure gets to him again. Devon Kennard in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs are going to lead to a third and long. Here's Wilson throwing on third and long. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Glover Quinn. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. So that right there was his second pick, but keep in mind, this is a guy who once had a rare 3-interception game in his career.
So what are you saying, that getting 2 in a game, that's like kids stuff for him? That's nothing. He's already done that, right? Been there, done that. You know he wants a third again.
The left side completion to Jones. Touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones, his second touchdown on the season. And the Lions have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Nick Kwiatkowski in there with pressure yet again, and that's the 7th time they've dropped him here this afternoon. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game, because no one can stand up to this week after week.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion. Kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And he's got Lockett. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. That one goes for 36 yards.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Flips to his right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Ezekiel Ansah in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. They go play action with Wilson. And the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Nick Kwiatkowski in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Here's Wilson to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And Janikowski bangs it through, and in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
No, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll begin here with Long. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing is Stafford. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Frank Clark in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
So what's the word I'm looking for here about how this drive just started?
Disjointed?
I'll go with that one. I mean, think about it. First down, took a bad loss on a running play. Take the sack on 2nd down. Now they got to come up with something big here on 3rd.
Now a carry for Blount. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. Now it's Lockett. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. That game's gone final now at Heinz Field. And it was the Browns that wound up winners in that one. Tyrod Taylor, 2 touchdown passes in the W. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. They begin with a run by Davis. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill out the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Wilson to throw. And this one incomplete. So the clock stopped now with 20 seconds remaining. The Seahawks on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now a handoff to Davis. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. The Seahawks will go for it. It's Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. Pete Carroll rolled the dice, but it didn't work out. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. Boy, an incredibly aggressive move to go for it there. Game-tied fourth quarter. You got to be surprised.
I am, and I know that we're in a new era of football where we look at the analytics sometimes, and a lot of time the analytics tell you to go for it, right? But do the analytics take into account game situation, where we are, all those things? In this situation, I thought it was an incredibly aggressive play.
It didn't work out, and again, tie game fourth quarter makes this thing a little bit more interesting. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. He hasn't missed a kick all year. Why would he start now?
That's a great question, isn't it? Well, maybe because that was the most nerve-wracking kick he had to attempt all year, but he knocked it through just like it was an easy chip shot.
On the return, the All-Pro 2 years ago, Tyler Lockett. Well, this one, partner, was fun down to the very end. They got the points late, right before the whistle. Then the ensuing kickoff. They were hoping for magic on the other side, but couldn't get that spark.
Fun if you won, and fun for us, because we got to watch it and call it. That magic that you were talking about didn't occur at the end, but what a game all the way through.
So for the Lions, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. There they will hit the road next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they dipped to 2-5 now with the loss. And they will get a home date next week against the Los Angeles Chargers.